we'll be touching your Jan 25 paper. As a caution, normally, what is the sequence for solving your paper? First, go with your MCQs. Then go with your DT or IDT, which you feel more comfortable. I would always prefer IDT, not because the subject I am handling. The reason is the complication in the law itself is comparatively lesser in indirect taxes compared to your direct tax. Time is another reason why I'll suggest IDT. Right, so depends. If at all you feel that your DT is very strong, that you might go with DT. And whenever you're starting with IDT after completing your MCQs together, do not try to solve the first question first. Try to go with other questions, because the first question will be a mandatory question. Like here, question 5 is mandatory, compulsory, and from 6 to 8 you can attend any 2 questions. So this question, even if you find it very simple, all our points are very clear, better to take it later for time management. Now we are working out this first. We are ignoring MCQs and working out this first because you want this discussion first. Right? So what would be the right sequence? MCQs, then ignore compulsory question, then go with other questions. Solid, you go through the entire question. You mark your 15 minutes time would be there to highlight or understand the important areas. But try with other 2 questions. 6 to 8 you have to attend only 2 questions. So here, now we are going with your compulsory question, question 5. First we'll see the questions in sequence, then we'll take your MCQs. Now question number 5, Galaxy Cube Private Limited, a registered person in Gujarat. A registered person in Gujarat. It's a private limited and it is registered in Gujarat. Is engaged in various lines of businesses. Is providing the following information for the month May 24. So this information is for the month of May 2024. Outward / inward transaction. Normally it will give outward separately, inward separately. Now it is combining. So you have to understand when it is outward, when it is inward. Supplied a latest technology laptop with a touchscreen option to managing director's friend. Open market value is 90,000. But supplied for 60,000. Is it outward supply or inward supply? Outward supply. 1. Now understand, is it related person or unrelated person? Managing director's friend is related or unrelated? Unrelated. So even otherwise open market value actually cannot be asked for interlevel because you don't have any idea of open market value. So question has a flaw. But at interlevel you can understand that these values will not be relevant for you because you will focus on the transaction value. You will focus on the, what is the transaction value? So you will open, how many tables you will always have for a master question? 4 tables. Gross output tax, RCM, input tax credit including RCM, then payment in cash, final table, which will have RCM payment in cash and net output tax payment in cash. Set off will be done, right? So we will never have a question prepared in ICS pattern. Here, what is the value? What is the value? You'll take 90,000 or 60,000? You'll take 90,000 or 60,000? And as nothing is given, you went with CGST and SGST. CGST and SGST. So here, your transaction value is relevant and your market value is not relevant. And if nothing is given by default, you'll always assume that it is in your shop. So intrastate supply, CGST and SGST. Supplied printed letter cards to MK Industries. Registered person in Gujarat. Logo design was supplied by MK Industries. Out of 5 lakhs, material is 4 lakhs and balance in printing cost. Balance is printing cost. So it is talking about printing and letter cards. Printing and cards. First, when you talk about this particular thing, all these designs were given by whom? The customer himself. The only work was print and give. Is it a composite supply? This material, book material that is given, it's like same like this question. I have given you a multicolor book. I would have sent the content. and he has printed and given me. So there are two elements that what I get from a printer. Paper and printing service. Paper is goods. Printing service is service. Because goods rate may be different, service rate may be different in the question. Correct? Now, please tell me, this is composite supply or not? First, this is another outward supply. This is another outward supply. Is it composite supply? Yes. In printing industry, paper and printing will always be naturally bundled. Which is principal supply? Printing is the principal supply or paper is principal supply? You'll have companies letterheads. Companies letterheads. When you see companies letterheads, the person will go there and will tell that I want this kind of letterheads. This is the quality I want. On this, when you give me, please print my logo. Here, it is a composite supply. Again, here, paper and printing, it is a composite supply. But principal supply is not printing. Principal supply is selection of the paper. I repeat, if this was printing of the entire book, entire content like your classroom material, it would have been supply of services. Here, it is printing of only the logo. Printing of only the logo. Therefore, it is supply of goods. Paper is supply of goods, and the moment you change it, you'll get entirely different answer. It is supply of goods. You'll go with 12%. You'll know that the same question by ICI, when asked at a different place, it was not only logo design, it was like a classroom printing of books. There, what was relevant? I am bothered about the paper quality for sure, but finally I am bothered about the print quality. So slightly change the fact, the answer is different. The only relevant fact which we missed out in the discussion was logo design. Only the logo design was involved. So it is again supply of goods. The moment it is supply of goods, it is 12%. And one more fact we have to evaluate. Because if it is goods, your place of supply is found by 10. And if it was services, your place of supply would have been found by 12. See, this is so important that it is relevant for two things. Not only for rate of tax, but also for place of supply. Now, place of supply for a registered person. Place of supply for a registered person. Where the supplier is located? Gujarat. And where this recipient is there? B2B or B2C? B2B. Where the movement terminates. So it will be Gujarat to Gujarat. Location of supplier, Gujarat. Place of supply, Gujarat. So this composite supply was not only relevant for finding out the rate of tax, but also for finding out the place of supply. So when you go to your answer part, you will find they have explained the entire concept of composite supply, and from there you get two things. Not only your rate of tax, but also your place of supply. As it is goods, principal supply, you will go with 6 plus 6%. As it is goods, you will go with section 10. Section 10, place of supply is where the movement terminates for delivery, and supplier is there in Gujarat. Place of supply, the movement is going to terminate in Gujarat. CGST, SGST. Intrastate supply. Now, the next part. Next is your provided transportation of passenger services by an we have seen it somewhere. So now please understand, this is by an omnibus, though through it is an eco. Is it under 9.5 or not? If it is under 9.5, it will not come in the calculation of Galaxy Cube Private Limited. It will come in the calculation of eco. This is another outward supply. This is outward supply number 3, and it is clearly supply of services. Now the question is not about goods or services. It is clearly supply of services. Only one supply is that, passenger transportation service. Now the question is whether 9.5 will be applicable or not. In this case, 9.5 will not be applicable. Why? The supplier himself is a company, and you're talking about if the same was not omnibus, same was cars. then 95 would have been applicable. It will not come in the computation of Galaxy Cube Private Limited. It will not come in the computation of Galaxy Cube Private Limited. So it is not 95. When it is not 95, you come to a conclusion that it is FCM. You come to a conclusion that it is FCM. This will come in whose computation? Galaxy Cube Private Limited. So there you need to explain all these points and tell that Galaxy Cube Private Limited will pay GST. As it is a service, you'll go with 9%. You'll go with, you have to explain that it is not covered under 95. Tax is payable not by ECO, by the Galaxy Cube Private Limited himself under FCM. So that analysis should be done. Clear? Have they given any information about the customer? If nothing is given, B2C. If nothing is given, B2C. So by default, when it is B2C, what you will do for passenger transportation services? For passenger transportation services, though they have not even explained here, they have not even bothered to explain this. The entire discussion does not even discuss about place of supply. But let us evaluate. It is B2C passenger transportation services. It is the place where the passenger embarks the conveyance for continuous journey. Obviously, we are assuming that it is happening within Gujarat only. It is happening within. So there are certain times where you will find the information is lacking. And when it is lacking, you might write your assumption. That we are not sure of place of supply. It is clearly B2B, B2C is not given, so we'll go with B2C. Even if it is B2C, we don't know where the passengers are embarking in the conveyance. So we are assuming that omnibus is only moving in and around Gujarat. Clear? So that assumption, if required, you can make it. Next, provided catering services to Excel University Patna, which is recognized by UGC. So education institution are of three types. One of the important list of exemption notification was education. Category A, Category B, Category C. Category A, preschool, schools. Category B, colleges, universities. Right. Now this is not provided by educational institution, it is provided to educational institution. It is not provided by educational institution, it is provided to educational institution. This is outward supply. 4. This is also supply of services. Obviously, the rate would be 99 if it is all that. Now the question is it exempted? Is it exempted? Actually, catering services provided to schools and preschools is exempted. Category A. Schools and preschools is transportation, catering, security, TCS. When provided by a third party to category A, preschools and schools, it is exempted. But is it covered by exemption notification? No. Why? It is category A or category B? Category B. It is category B. Then you will go, and where is this located, by the way? Patna. So now place of supply will be relevant. It's located in Patna. So that also information you keep in mind. Now when you go there, you have to tell that sorry, it is not exempted. So this catering service you have to explain in full that this service is not exempted, and you have to write why it is not exempted. Because it is only exempted when it is provided to preschools and schools, category A. So this will be taxable. And where is the supplier? Gujarat. Where is the recipient? Wait, catering services comes in performance based. Where? Catering services, performance based, whether it is B2B or B2C, it is place of performance. Performance will be there in Patna, Bihar. So it is IGST. So you have to write that. First, you have to talk about exemption, then you have to talk about place of supply, and you'll write IGST. You'll write IGST. So place of supply is place of performance. You'll explain both. About exemption, then place of supply. Right. Here, whether Excel University is registered or unregistered, not relevant. For catering services, restaurant services, beauty treatment services, health services, cosmetic plastic surgery, personal grooming services, whether B2B or B2C, answer is place of performance. Place of performance. Obviously, the performance catering would be given in that university, which is located in Patna, Bihar. Therefore, it is B2. Therefore, it is IGST. LOS, Gujarat, POS, Bihar, IGST. And as it is service, you take 18 percentage. 9 plus 9, 18 percentage. Exemption will always be part of your question. Next, you're talking about made supply of goods in territorial waters. Now this suddenly becomes supply of goods. Suddenly it is supply of, so it is outward supply 5, and the question is very clear that it is supply of. So one thing is very clear that it will be 12 percentage. If at all it is there, it will be, because you would have read the question in 15 minutes. So you know that for goods it is 12 percentage. One thing will be very clear, it is 12 percentage. Now it is provided to whom? It is provided to Blue Waters Incorporation, registered in the state of Maharashtra. Such place of territorial waters was at a distance of 5 nautical miles to the baseline of Gujarat and 7 nautical miles to the base of. Now, location of supplier is where? Gujarat. What is the place of supply? See, place of supply. No, first evaluate for goods. Don't jump to. Just because you see territorial waters, don't jump. If at all it is territorial waters, first it is goods. Goods means section 10. Goods means section 10. And whether it is registered means B2B. Where the movement terminates. Where the movement? So movement will terminate at territorial waters. So now the answer is water. Answer is water. Now that water belongs to which place? Now that water belongs to, whether it belongs to Gujarat, 5 nautical miles, or whether it belongs to Maharashtra, 7 nautical miles. It belongs to, why I am telling first evaluate. If at all I want to give you turn and twist, I would have given you services. General category. General category means answer would have been Maharashtra. Because if you are registered B2B, it is location of recipient. Location of, then you will not evaluate that Gujarat. No, you will not even evaluate it. Got that? So please don't jump and don't be ready with your guns and tell that no. Right? And remember, even while discussing yesterday some question, one point we made an error. Today also we made an error because of haste. Yesterday we made a very typical error because the one question it had due date of payment extended. We did not see it. Here we made a haste again by we did not highlight logo design. So this will happen. Just again don't make haste here. That okay, territorial waters means obviously it will be waters. No. First define whether place of supply is waters. Yes, place of supply is waters. Then decide. Right. So here, yes, answer was right because it was goods and the movement terminates in waters. So as it is waters, now you are trying to allocate waters to a particular state. If it was not at all waters, you will not even allocate. So place of supply is again Gujarat because nearest to the baseline. Location of supplier Gujarat, place of supply is Gujarat because 5 nautical miles. Maharashtra is, though the customer is in Maharashtra, but place of supply is Gujarat because it is for goods. Now, when you go there, you have to write that is CGST, SGST. You have to explain that entire provision and tell that though the customer is in Maharashtra, but place of supply is territorial. First, you have to write place of supply is territorial waters. Explain that. Movement terminates. Then, if it is territorial waters, how to allocate? CGST, SGST. As it is goods, you will go with 12%. 6 plus 6. That we have even analyzed earlier itself. The moment it is goods, the rate is freezed. 6 plus 6 or 12. Now, this was about your outward supply. Now, the last point, purchase goods from DK company. This is all about your inward supply. When you are purchasing from a composition dealer, will you get a credit or no credit? No, he will give you bill of supply. So now this will go in your table 3. This will go in your table 3 whether you will write any credit or no credit. In your table 3 whether you will write any credit or no credit. In your table 3 you will write credit is 0. The ICA will give only one table. Don't do that. Table 1, output tax. Table 2, RCM. Table 3, ITC. In your table 3, the moment you purchase from composition scheme dealer, there is no credit. There is no credit. You will have 4 tables. Do not make blunder like I say, writing the entire answer in one table. In your book itself, there are totally 4 tables which you have to follow. So this area is done. Now, other information. During the course of filing invoices, accountant identified an invoice dated March 24. We are into which month? May 24. Issued by Mahajan, whose residential house was taken on rent for MD of the company for his residential use. Invoice was for 50,000 excluding tax. No payment has been made for this invoice. No payment has been made for this. Now, you'll have a confusion. Sir, we are into the month of May. But this invoice pertains to? This invoice pertains to March. This invoice pertains to March. Now, when you talk about your time of supply, when you talk about your time of supply, this will become relevant. This will become relevant. Right? Your time of supply tells that, what is your time of supply basically? What is your time of supply basically? For RCM, open your time of supply for RCM. This is service or, first of all, is it under RCM or not? First evaluate. First evaluate, is it under RCM? Yes, it is under RCM. Renting of residential dwelling. Landlord can be anyone. Recipient. This is inward supply or outward supply? This is your inward supply 2. This is your inward supply. In the previous case, in the previous part, it was inward supply 1. Now this is your inward supply 2. If you take your inward supply 2, what is given? Is it under RCM? Yes, it is under RCM. Why? Renting of residential dwelling, point number 1. Supplier can be anyone. Recipient is registered. RCM. Sir, it is for residence. No, it is not a proprietorship concern. It is a limited company. It will not be exempted. It will not be exempted. It won't be exempted. Are you guys clear with this understanding? Are you guys clear with this understanding? So first you have to write it is under RCM. It is under RCM. Right. Now, second, please take your time of supply. There's an amendment. Please take your time of supply. There is an amendment. So if you take that particular amendment for your time of supply, which I said the time of supply you go through yourself. This time of supply, the answer here may not match, because when you take your time of supply, can you tell me the page number? 66. When you take your time of supply, there is an amendment which tells what? First, in case of RCM for services, this is a service. It is date of payment in books. Payment has never happened. Or 61 days from the invoice of supplier. 61 days from the invoice of supplier. If invoice is issued to be 61 days from supplier's invoice. Supplier has not given GST invoice, normal invoice. 61 days. Or date of issue of invoice by recipient in case invoice is to be issued by recipient. Now, when invoice is issued by recipient, if supplier is unregistered, and it is RCM who will issue the invoice? Recipient, self-invoice. So this last part has come only for the first time. Earlier it was payment in books or payment in bank or 61 days from the date of invoice of supplier, whichever is earlier. Now it is payment in books or payment in bank or 61 days from the issues of invoice by supplier. If supplier is going to raise tax invoice, and if recipient has to raise self-invoice, it is date of issuance of self-invoice by the recipient. Date of issuance of self-invoice by the recipient. So why I am telling this? There are few details which are not updated because this is your Jan exam paper. And this amendment has come for the very first time. Now what is not given? Whether this landlord is registered or unregistered is not known. Right? So you are trying to work out this question on a basic assumption that landlord is registered. No, landlord is. If you assume that landlord is unregistered, then it is payment in books of bank, payment has not happened, or self invoice raised by the recipient. The question is not giving when the self invoice is raised by the. You got that? So this question needs to be updated. Either you should assume that the landlord is registered. Only then you can solve this. Only then you can. Otherwise, if the landlord is not registered, they should have given the date of self invoice. They should have given the date of. Got that? So now you are going with an assumption because of amendment. There is no problem with the question paper. This is an old question paper. Because of amendment, you have to assume that the landlord is registered. He is registered, but it is under RCM. If we see his registered, time of supplies, payment in books of bank, never happened. 61 days from invoice. What is 61 days from invoice? What is 61 days from invoice? April, 30 days, and May, 31. So 61 days will end on 31st of May. And by the way, you're into the month of May. You're into the month of May. So your time of supply is 31st May, or payment which has not happened, which is earlier. Payment may happen later, but which is earlier? For sure it is 31st May. We are not touching that amendment part. What is that amendment part? If the landlord was unregistered, you'll ignore that 61 days. You'll ignore that. You'll go with self-invoice date, for which you want information in the question. When the self-invoice was raised by this particular company. Clear? So now why you are understanding why this comes in the month of May? Because time of supply is May. Because time of supply is, your time of supply is May. So you have to explain RCM. Then you have to tell that time of supply is 31st May. Therefore, it comes in the calculation of May. Therefore, it comes in the calculation of May. But this is with the basic assumption that landlord is registered because of the amendment. Because of the amendment. Now, you will put this in table 2 and table 3. You will put this in table 2 and table 3. So, you will put this in table 2. Lot of information is not given. Where is this property is not given. We will assume that it is all in Gujarat. Right? Table to RCM. So, will you pay RCM? Yes. You will put this in table 2. You will pay by cash. You will pay by cash and immediately you will get it in credit. You will get it in credit. So, this will come in first table 2. Then, sir, why they have put negative? Negative is because they have presented in one table, they have written less ITC. All unwanted confusion. Unwanted, you will put in table 2. Then table 3 ITC. You will also put in table 4. RCM paid by cash. RCM paid by cash. So, it will come in table 2 primarily. Then part of ITC table 3. Then part of table 4. RCM paid in cash. Then when you are finding out net output tax, you will reduce that ITC. You will reduce that ITC. So that we have discussed in detail when we have seen the 4 tables. When we have seen the, I am not going into the complication of working out. So how to work out, we have already discussed. Now other information, all the figures are exclusive of GST. Now why we took intrastate supply? There was lack of information in many places, including this present information. We did not know whether interstate or intrastate. The question has actually said this and given us that if at all you are not sure, go with intrastate. Wherever place of recipient, except where you can find out place of supply, go with that. Otherwise, go with. So I was actually in the beginning telling that there's a flaw in the question. There's no flaw because they have taken care of that assumption. They have taken care of that assumption. Then necessary conditions for ITC has been availed, etc. Normal points. You have done everything. Now your ITC question is ready. Table 1 ready, table 2 ready, table 3 ready. Finally, calculated. Look at the beauty of the question. They have incorporated, main question is ITC. But side part, they have incorporated exemption. They have incorporated RCM. They have incorporated time of supply. They have incorporated composite supply. Place of supply. How many parts? 6. ITC. The question includes by itself. Why it is 10 marks? It has got something, right? ITC plus exemption plus RCM plus time of supply plus your place of supply plus composite supply. You have 5 chapters, different chapters clubbed into one thing. Small part of that is one part. That is not part of composition. This is part of ITC only, because ITC tells that you cannot get ITC on purchases from composition. So I will not write small part of composition scheme. It is part of ITC chapter itself. Very categorically it has said that if you purchase from composition scheme dealer, you cannot get credit, block credit. It is there in block credit. Clear? That is the reason I always suggest that please be cautious. You might know everything, but don't worry. Write this in the end. This might look simple, but you have to explain. You might have understood everything, and everything is actually very simple. Nothing has come from C part. Everything is 5-star or 3-star. Everything is 5-star or time of supply we did not discuss, but I said put 3-star. Put the only area that I did not touch is time of supply, but I put no, don't forget, don't exclude it. It is a 3-star. It will be clubbed along with different questions. Now, next, generally the next question doesn't comes, because once they ask about a concept, they don't repeat a concept. But I don't know, of late, ICA keeps repeating. Even in the last paper, you will find that if at all, E-Wable is never asked, but when it was asked 3 times. It was asked. So next question is again composite supply. Composite supplies are already tested, very beautifully evaluated in the main question. So there was no need to give another question about composite supply. Look at 1B, not 1B, 5B. Multiplex, very basic question. You should be very happy when you are getting these questions. There is a multiplex in the state of Punjab, and where they are obviously giving offers for movie tickets. Only tickets 200 per person. Combo offer, which includes tickets and snacks, 350 per person. Only snacks, because you might purchase tickets, then later on during the break you might purchase your snacks. 250 per person, per token. You pay it separately. And they have said that 10,000 of people have come for combo offer. So for combo offer, what would be the value? I'll write the answer here. It's 350 multiplied by 10,000. This is the value. And 2,500 only for tickets. So only for tickets, what would be the answer? 200. Only for tickets, what would be the answer? 200 multiplied by 2,500. Multiplied by 2,500. And there is another information on the next page. 1,000 tokens only for snacks. 1,000 tokens only for snacks. Now 1,000 tokens only for snack. When you are coming only for snack. When you are coming only for snacks, it is 250 into 1,000. So this completes your value. Correct? What about the rate of tax? What about the rate of tax? Now rate of tax is given if it is snacks. If it is snacks, the rate of tax is 5%. If it is exhibition of movies, 18%. So snacks, whether there was only snacks, whether you had a scenario where there was only snack. So only snack, what are you going to take? 5%. No issues. Whether there was only tickets, what are you going to take? You don't have any issue here also. They are independent supplies. They are. What about tickets plus snacks? What about tickets plus snacks? Is it a composite supply? Yes. What is the principal supply? Cinema or snacks? So multiplied by. Done. Done. So once you are through this, they have asked what is the rate and they have asked for the gross GST payable. If you sum all these up, whatever we have calculated, if you sum all these up, you'll get the total tax payable. You'll get the total tax payable. This is the answer that we have already worked out. We worked out that itself. For only tickets, we took 18. For tickets plus snacks, 18. For only snacks, 5. And we calculated the value. So whatever we have worked out is given in this table. I'm not interested in the final number. I'm just interested to know that how are you going to crack it? How are you going to prepare your tables? This is a special case where the same concept of composite supply was asked twice. One as a part of bigger question which was given for 10 marks. Other independent question for 5 marks. So totally composite supply itself came for about 7 marks. If you even take 1 or 2 marks for that, 6 to 7 marks was only composite. This question is a bonus question that you have. You should be so happy. Oh, straightforward question. Directly apply and get the answer. So we are done with your mandatory question. All the other questions are very basic and simple questions. We are done with your mandatory question. Now we'll move on to 6, 7, 8. Out of which only 2 are to be written. You can ignore one in option, but we'll work out all the 3. Sixth question. Yes, please. Okay, what is the definition of composite supply, mixed supply? Come back again. Okay, how to find whether it is naturally bundled or artificially bundled? Come back again. We have discussed this in length. What is the criteria of knowing whether it is naturally or artificially bundled? How you will decide whether it is naturally bundled or artificially bundled? If it is naturally bundled, composite supply. If it is artificially bundled, how to decide? Industry practice. Expectation of the consumer. Don't you think that now multiplex, it is a basic industry practice that they offer combo offers? Got that? And I actually explained this. What is mixed today? After few years, it may be. So it depends on the industry practice. This industry practice is pretty clear. And there's a circular for this. Rather, both the points of composite supply that are asked, both are actually circulars. Circulars, you need not worry. If you know the concept, you know the circulars. If you know the concept, you know the circulars. So, multiplex, don't you think that when you're booking the tickets, there's a very common thing that you can go for combo offers. They'll give you snacks. Okay, I'll explain you in a different way. 10, 15 years back, if at all I said tickets with snacks together, it would not have been composite supply. Today, is it normal practice in the industry? Normal practice in your multiplex industry? Correct. That is the reason. Got that? So we have discussed in length how to go with composite and how to go with composite and how to go with mixed. Right. Next is a question where, so here you don't think that they have actually gone with highest rate of tax. They have actually explained that it is a composite supply. See, in this question, the fun part is whether if you take composite supply or mixed supply, finally you have got 18. But they have explained it is a composite supply. First, they have explained it is a composite supply. You might have got for marks for the second part. Even if you wrongly assumed that it is a mixed supply, you would have gone with 18 only. But you would not have got marks for the first part. Clear? Now, question number 6. Naman, Nutan Limited, a registered person in Indore. So, Nutan is a limited. I am not interested in the name. I am very much interested with it. Now, once you see RCM and all, your mind is all very clear. I should see limited. I should see registered. Your mind opens up. Right? Yesterday might be your mind was not so opened up. Now it's opened up. Oh, limited means okay, something important might be there. Registered person, which state? Madhya Pradesh. State is Madhya Pradesh. June month. Paid remuneration to Madan. Is it outward supply or inward supply? Inward supply. Rather, all of them are actually inward supply. All of them are, rather, the question is actually asking about RCM. The question is only asking about, the question categorically tells that what is the RCM payable in June month. So it is only asking about RCM. So all are basically inward supply and the rate of taxes given. Rate of taxes given. Then 19%, 18% is given. 9 or 18 is given. Now paid remuneration to Madan. So this question is fully based on RCM. So when it is paying remuneration to Madan for the service rendered by him in capacity of director. Company is deducting TDS under 192 as well as 194J both. Gross payments 8,50,000 towards 192 salary and 11,50,000 towards professional services. So what about 8,50,000? It is not at all supply. It is not at all supply. What about 11,50,000? It is supply taxable under RCM. Taxable under RCM. Right? So your calculation table will show 20 lakhs or only 11,50,000. It will only show 11,50,000. 11,50,000. As the question later on tells that it is always CGST, SGST, therefore you only go with CGST, SGST. The question tells that assume that everything is intrastate. Therefore you will go with CGST, SGST. Basically 11,50,000 multiplied by 18%. If it is CGST, SGST, 9 and 9. Next, very important. Rather, I actually highlighted this. Paid rent to Indian Railways. Paid rent to Indian Railways. Registered in Railways is also registered in Madhya Pradesh for the property located in the same state, which was taken on lease by the company. RCM or no RCM? PML, not supply. PRPT, either exempt or taxable. If it is taxable, it is always under. So it will not come for Nutan. It will not come for Nutan Limited. If it was not by Indian Railways, if it was by any other department of government, income tax department, this would have been under income tax department. That is something that is registered. Even Nutan Limited is registered for renting of immovable property. For renting of immovable property by government to registered recipient RCM. You will not see whether landlord is. You will not see that. You will not even. It is by Indian Railways. It changes everything. It changes everything. So whether it will come in the calculation part of Nutan Limited. Whether this will come in calculation part of Nutan Limited. No. It will not come in the calculation part of Nutan Limited. No. It won't come. No RCM. Paid to XYZ. I actually marked all these important. Director services, 5-star. Government, super 5-star. Security services, 5-star. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5-star. So XYZ Security Private Limited for providing, forget about it, suppliers. Will you even evaluate further? It is. So in that table, whether anything will come? No. So in that table, you directly go and you'll find that nothing, not RCM. Not RCM. Why? Suppliers? I did not even check anything else. I did not even went further. Panda, table, not required. Next, paid fees to local municipal corporation for renewal of company's factories license, 4,800. PML? No. PRPT? No. Others? Yes. Business, it is government? No. Government to government? No. Government to non-business entity? No. Nutan Limited is a business entity. Government to small business entity? No. Wait. Nutan Limited's turnover is given. So government to big business limited. Okay. Though it is big business limited, big business entity, because previous year turnover was more than 40, 20, 10 lakhs. So it is a big business entity, but small value. But small value. So it is escaping because of small value, not because of small. It is a big business. Previous year turnover of Nutna Limited was 67 lakhs. It is a big business entity. It is a big. So now it is escaping for what? Small value. So here I have to write not about FCM, RCM. I have to write it is exempt. It is exempt. This one is exempt. I have written answers on the right hand side of the question itself, which samely you will find here. Finally, you will find here that it is mentioned that it is exempt. It is mentioned that the same is exempt. The same is exempt. Therefore, no question of FCM or RCM. No question of FCM or RCM. Done. Over. 6A, 5 marks, done. In your pocket, fully. Few questions, direct marks. 5 marks, composite supply in your pocket. This 5 marks, directly in your pocket. All 5 star, 3 stars only, till now. Next, place of supply, 5 star. Place of supply, we have not even read the question, but it's 5 star. Okay, let us evaluate it. Mark C, Pharmaceuticals, registered in GST in Rajasthan. Hires Sangam Events LLP. So this is what service? The name indicates that it is for annual event to be held in. Wait. Who's the supplier? Sangam Event. So what is the location of supplier? Madhya Pradesh. Location of supplier is Madhya Pradesh. Where is the location of recipient? We are not interested in location of recipient, but still we are writing location of recipient, which is equal to Rajasthan. We are not interested with that. We are interested only with location of supplier, and we are interested in place of supply. Wait, event, organization of event. B2B, B2C relevant or not relevant? B2B, B2C relevant or not relevant? For organization of event, relevant. Admission to event not relevant. For organization of event, it is relevant. So answer is not Gujarat. Though event is in Gujarat, answer is what? Is it B2B or B2C? Is it B2B or B2C? B2B means place of supply is location of recipient, and location of recipient is so location of recipient is, answer is not Gujarat. Why? Because recipient is also registered. Recipient is also registered. Are you guys clear with this understanding? So finally you have to explain everything, and you have to write that answer here is Rajasthan and not Gujarat. If it was B to C, then the answer would have been Gujarat. Next, they are not even asking about CGST, SGST, IGST. They are only asking about place of supply. Obviously, we can even conclude that it is IGST. Madhya Pradesh to Rajasthan, it is IGST. Right? That's not even the part of the question. Next, PSL Limited, a registered person in Chandigarh, Punjab, orders from CMR Limited, another registered person in Ranchi, Jharkhand, for delivery of goods to MHT Limited, a registered person in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Now first you please evaluate who's supplying to whom. There are two supplies. Who's ordering from whom? Orders CMR Limited in Ranchi. So CMR Limited, I'm not writing limited. Okay, CMR Limited is supplying to PSL Limited. CMR Limited is located in Jharkhand. PSL Limited is located in Punjab. CMR is a supply. He is ordering CMR to deliver the goods to MHT. See, I am PSL. I am telling my supplier, CMR, who's there in Jharkhand, to deliver the goods to my customer. to deliver the goods to my customer. MHT Limited, who is also there in. See, I'm telling you, don't send to me. If you send to me, I have to again send it to Jharkhand. Read the question carefully. So, who's supplying to whom? CMR is supplying to PSL. PSL is supplying to MHT. Got that? When PSL Limited is ordering CMR, it is telling that, yes, I am your customer, but you don't send the goods to me, you directly send the goods to my customer. He is telling his supplier, PSL, he is telling his supplier, CMR Limited, to deliver the goods directly to his customer, MHT Limited, because both are there in Jharkhand. Why to send the goods to Maharashtra? Got that? First, interpret the question, break the question. Be very clear who's the supplier, who's the recipient. What is the place of supply for the first supply? Place of supply for the first supply. It is principal place of business of third person. Who is the third person? PSL Limited. It is Punjab. What is the place of supply for the second supply? Where the movement of goods terminates. And where is the movement terminating? Jharkhand. So, first, Jharkhand person will raise IGST to Punjab person, and Punjab person will again raise IGST to Jharkhand. The revenue initially goes out from Jharkhand to Punjab. Again, the revenue will go from Punjab to Jharkhand. IGST will be shared 50% by central government, 50%. Finally, will go back to Jharkhand because Jharkhand is the destination state. Jharkhand is the destination state. Clear? 5, 5, 5. 15 marks in your pocket. First 10 marks, basic only, but you might make some silly mistakes, so I'll just reduce 2, 3 marks, 7 marks. Right? That was also 5-star, 3-star. Till now, you have not got a question which was not there in your 5-star or 3-star. Next, total 5-star, total 3-star. Registration, I took only 20% of the entire chapter. Right? Now look at this question. Rameshwar Industries is engaged in manufacturing semiconductors, which means goods. Which means goods Assam, goods Assam, goods Assam, goods Assam. Goods Assam. Which limit? The moment you talk about goods and the moment you talk about Assam, what is the limit? Is it coming in the story? No. So you'll go with? Clear? I say will confuse you. It will give 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs and 40 lakhs. You'll stick to? When the business is commenced? March 14, not relevant. When it crosses 10 lakhs? Not relevant. When it crosses 20 lakhs? Not relevant. When it crosses 40 lakhs? So you are liable for registration when? You are liable for registration when? April 28. Did you apply for registration within 30 days? You applied for registration on 15th May. This is your application for registration. Did you apply in 30 days? Everything good will happen. The moment you applied in 30 days, what is your effective date of registration? It is April 28, the date when you are liable for registration. The date when you are liable for registration. The date when you are liable for registration. Whether grant of registration is relevant? No. I have not even highlighted any important areas. Commencement, not relevant. 10 lakhs, not relevant. 20 lakhs, not relevant. Grant of registration, not relevant because you have applied within. Otherwise, that would have been relevant. Right? So, first question, did we answer it? What is the effective date of registration? Yes, we answered it. Second question, for what period? Can you raise revised tax invoice? Yes. For what period? You are liable on 28th April, but finally you get your registration certificate when? 29th May. Till then, you will be making supplies, but you cannot give tax invoice because you don't have your GST number. So, for what period you will be giving revised tax invoice? 28th April to 29th May. 29th May. Till you get the date when you are liable, till you are getting the registration certificate, you cannot give GST tax invoice. You cannot give GST tax invoice. Done. Now, last question. Timeline. Document chapter. 5% only we have touched. One full page and one e-invoicing. That's it. And I said, rather in that 5%, actually I have not even said everything is important. I said only 2 areas are important, but we are seeing everything. Revised tax invoice, debit note, credit note is 5-star. And one amendment for self-invoice, 3-star. Rest all I said don't mark. Entire table was not marked as 5-star or 3-star. Only credit note, debit note and revised tax invoice was marked as 5-star. Within how much time you have to give revised tax invoice? 1 month of what? 1 month from the date of grant of registration. Only then you get the GST number. So 1 month from 29th May will be, see, it is not 30 days, 1 month. 30 days would have completed on 28th. So it is 1 month. It is now for registration 30 days. For giving revised tax invoice, 1 month. Over. 5-star. Entire thing actually was 5-star. No, even not even 3-star. Rather, majorly whatever questions we have discussed, 3-star was hardly there. It was everything from 5-star. We have not touched anything from 3-star. Time of supply was there. That only time of supply in the first question was there. Otherwise, everything was 5-star. Rectification. I will not even take this. Rectification. In written filing chapter, such a lengthy big chapter, I walked through it and said that there are 3 important. 3-star for the entire table. 5-star for late fees. And I went ahead. I said, forget everything else. Lot of stories are written. 5-star for rectification. Can you easily answer all the 3 parts? Rectification allowed? Yes. Revision not allowed. Exception? Yes. When it is found by the officer, not allowed. Time limit? Yes. 30th number of next financial year. Actual date of annual return of that financial year, whichever is earlier. It doesn't mean number written of next financial year. Maximum is October return of next financial year filed on or before 30th number of next financial year, assuming that annual return will be filed in December. Assuming that annual return will be filed in full 5-star. So till now, all these areas 5, 6 and even 7, everything was only 5-star. Don't worry, there will be some bouncer questions. Now, welcome to the bouncer question. But you will write 50 on 50 marks. So this question, which is about time of supply and which is focusing on a circular, is a bouncer question. Is a bouncer question. See, normally time of supply for services. Time of supply for services is what? Time of supply for services is what? If you give the invoice in time, actual date of invoice or payment, whichever is earlier. If you don't give the invoice in time, not due date of invoice, it is date of completion of service. For goods, it is due date of invoice. Here it is date of completion of service or payment in books, payment in bank, whichever is earlier. Here in this circular, the question tells that, actually for this particular category, when you are doing work for National Highway Projects of India, it is a continuous supply of service. You will not be finding the date of provision of service. The contract will not give you date of provision of service. So here the only catch was date of provision of service. Date of provision of service will be assumed to be the due date of payment as per contract. You will not be having date of provision of service. Your date of provision of service will be due date of payment as per contract. You cannot find when it is completed. So you go with due date of payment as per your contract. Whatever is the due date as per your contract, what is your timeline as per your contract, that you assume to be date of provision of service. That you assume to be, see, actually you explain the answer in a very simple way. If invoice is given in time, actual date of invoice or date of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. If invoice is not given in time, it is date of provision of service or date of payment, which was earlier. But how to decide whether invoice is given in time or not? Invoice is given in time or not is decided by the contract. If you give the invoice before the due date of payment, before the due date of payment, which you are deeming to be date of provision of service. Date of provision of service, first answer or the second answer. If you give the invoice after the due date of payment, then it is the second answer. And and the due date of payment will be treated as date of provision of service. Will be treated as, so it is C category. Circular. Never we touch any circular. Circular will only explain the law. This is an exception where it goes beyond the law. Where it goes beyond the, this is a circular which actually goes beyond the law. Right? Rare category. C, even in C, it is the worst category that could have been asked, but it is asked. Don't worry. Even you could have attempted the 8th question. Why? 8A is R. And when you talk about exemption for old age home, they have asked briefly about exemption of old age home, where that as an exemption, if you collect old age home, 25,000 or some amount, 25,000 per 25,000 per month per member if it is for more than 16 years of age. But it should be by a government entity or a charitable trust in 12AA or 12AB, not by any person, not by. So they tell that supplier should be government or a trust registered under 12AA, 12AB, and if the value is 25,000 per month per person, this value is including everything. It is not only for rent, it is for everything. Boarding, lodging, maintenance, everything. Total value should be up to 25,000 per month per member, then it is exempted. Both are C part. Both are C part. So this would have been a bouncer question. You would have missed this 5 marks. It was not neither marked as 5 stars nor marked as 3 star. No, it was not that. It was not that. Don't worry. You had an option to select 6, 7, 8, only 2 questions. You could have gone with that. You would have attended full 50 marks of entire taxation. Next is basic point. I will not even touch and go. 138E, blocking of e-way bill. 2 categories, suspension of registration, non-filing of returns, 2. If you are composition taxable person, 2 CMP, 08 quarterly. If you are NRTP, 2 monthly GSTR 5. If you are CTP RTP, 2 monthly GSTR 1 3B or 2 quarterly GSTR 1 3B. 2. Blocking. Is it blocking outward e-way bill or inward e-way bill? Only outward e-way bill. Only outward e-way bill. Any 6 state taxes that are subsumed inside? First chapter, 5 star. Right, you have VAT, sales tax, entity tax, purchase tax, your advertisement tax, betting, gambling, lottery, your entertainment tax by state government, entertainment tax by state government. This list, though I have put all these figures in one part, you will find easy question. 5 star. So here it is all coming properly. There was only one bouncer, and that one bouncer will be there. But I said 99.99%, even if that's a bouncer question C part, you will be able to attend entire 50 marks. Entire. Right. Now we are done with all the subjective questions. Your case study based questions, practical questions. MCQs are basic. MCQs, yes, there were few bouncers, but we'll see the MCQs and we'll wind this up. MCQs, as I said, whenever you're seeing MCQs, I repeat it, when you're writing your exams, what you should do? You should start with MCQs, then you should never start with compulsory question. First, you should go with other optional question out of 3, you have to write 2, do that, then you take your compulsory question even if you're very sure of. Because compulsory question will take a lot of time, lengthy, time management. This is for 2 reasons. Multiple concepts are there and it will be lengthy. It will be lengthy. Now, MCQs, first always go with other than case studies. Other than? So we'll go with that. Now, when you're talking about 16th question, last we'll go in reverse order. Alpha Way Industries, a registered person dealing in supply of taxable goods, has an aggregate turnover of 6.75 crores in the preceding financial year. So this we have not discussed in your important part. Again, it is not 5 star or 3 star category. You might actually have put in 3 star category if you have gone through. So this area is HSN code. If your previous year aggregate turnover is more than 5 crores, you will put 6 digits HSN. You are going to put 6 digit HSN both for B2B and B2C. Sir, what if it is less than 5 crores? Then 4 digits. B to B mandatory. B to C optional. Which means answer would have been A. Answer would have been A. If your previous year aggregate turnover was less than 5 crores, what would have been your answer? Option A. 4 digits. Obviously, it is 4 digits, but A or B? Only for B to B. Only for B to B. More than 5 crores, 6 digits. B to B as well as B to C. Up to 5 crores, 4 digits. First is 4 digits. Only for B to B. So that would have been your answer. You would have missed this area, but you will not miss MCQs. You will try to put any one of the answer. Correct? MCQs, there's no negative markings. You will try to do your analysis, what you have read, and put something there. Next, 15th question. Padmani, a renowned Kathak dancer, registered in GST. Following information for June. Fees received for teaching Kathak. Exempt. Any cultural or artistic activity. Any cultural or art related training by any person by is exempt. So this is actually exempt. But if it was sports, it is exempt only if it is registered under 12AA or 12AB. 5, it is all coming in 5-star. I have highlighted both sports and entertainment. Correct. So this is exempt for cultural or artistic coaching classes. Cultural related coaching class or art related coaching class, you can be any person. You can be, but if it is sports training, you should be under 12AA or 12AB. Right. So here it is cultural coaching class, everything is exempt. Now next, fees received from a TV channel for appearing as a guest anchor. Taxable. It is taxable. No exemption for that. Received for Kathak performance. Up to 1,50,000 is exempt. More than 1,50,000 is taxable. More than 1,50,000 is. So it is satisfying one condition. See, both are different. One is training and this is for performing. You're not taking classes in your coaching place. You're going somewhere and performing. So one is coaching, one is performing. So performing is exempt, but it is only for cultural or any folk arts. But value should be less than or equal to 1,50,000. Less than or equal to, this is taxable. Last. Fees received from performance of fusion dance. The moment it is fusion dance, cultural and western, it is taxable. It should, though it is less than or equal to 1,50,000, but it is fusion. What is exempt is only purely classical or art forms. Classical or art forms. Folk dance, folk art. Classical or folk art. So this is fusion taxable. So what is your total taxable? 670. 670. Clear? Clear? So these two MCQs done. Now we'll go with case studies. First we'll go with the previous case study. Maurya and Co. registered in GST. Registered in GST is engaged in textile manufacturing business in the state of Tamil Nadu. For 17-18, the due date of annual return was 7/2/2020, but actual date of filing was 7th March 2020. Extended due date was 7th Feb 2020, but actual filing was 7th March. No appeals and revision was done. This we have not even covered in 5-star or 3-star. For how long you have to maintain your accounts and records? For how long you have to maintain your accounts and records? 6 years, 72 months. You have to maintain your accounts and records for 72 months or 6 years from due date of filing annual return. Due date of filing annual return. 72 months or 6 years from due date of filing annual return. So what is the due date of filing annual return? not your actual date, due date. So 72 months will get over on 7th Feb 2026. 7th Feb 2026. So you'll find one of the question. The moment you see this point, obviously that will be about your accounts and records. They have given all the information about your accounts and records. So your Maurya and Co will have to maintain the books of accounts till what? 7th Feb 2026. It is not from the actual date of annual return, it is from your due date. It is from your due date. Next. They supplied dhotis and saris to various state governments. Various state governments during the month of March. Supplied saris worth 2,80,000, including. So first, what is the value, contract value? The moment it is to government, TDS will come. Supply to government, TDS will come. So what is the value, contract value? 2,80,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 112. What is the value? 2,80,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 112. 2,50,000. Whether TDS will be applicable or not applicable? No. Why? No, supplier is other than government, recipient is government. It is about TDS. Supply to government. TDS will not be applicable because we have discussed categorically more than 2,50,000, not more than or equal to. More than exactly 2,50,000, no TDS. Contract value should be more than. I highlighted it. I said it, more than. Not more than or equal to. It is more than. And we discuss this point specifically. If it is equal to 2,50,000, no TDS. Pardon? E-way bill consignment value. If you see there also, for e-way bill consignment value, there also they focus on more than 50,000. More than 50,000. If it is up to 50,000, there's no e-way bill. Lot of places you have to be very careful. What is the term there? What is the term there? Are you guys clear with this understanding? Are you guys clear with this understanding? Clear? Now, supplied dhotis worth 3 lakh excluding GST to government of Tamil Nadu. Now it is excluding whether TDS will be there. Whether TDS now will be there. Yes, TDS at 2% will be there. At 2% will be there. Why? This value is excluding GST. It is crossing 2,50,000. Next. Supplies both saris and dhotis to government of Andhra Pradesh for Telugu New Year for 3,50,000 including. So when you tell including GST, first you have to calculate. 3,50,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 112. What is the value? 3,12,500. Whether TDS will be there? Yes, TDS will be there. Right. The supply was made to its government undertaking in Chennai. Invoice was given to Tirupati. Andhra government Tirupati. Why this is relevant now? Where is the supplier located? Tamil Nadu. What is the place of supply?
Maybe third party.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Location of supplier, Tamil Nadu. Location of recipient, government. Who's the government? Andhra. If place of supply is also Tamil Nadu, TDS will not be there. LOS, POs in same state and LOR in different state, TDS will not be there. Whether TDS is there or not. For place of supply, you have to resort to section 10 for goods. Section 10. right? If at all it is on the instruction of third person, you're giving to someone else. On the instruction of third person, you're giving to someone else. What is the place of supply? Principal place of business of third person. Who's giving direction? Who's giving direction? So whether TDS will be there? Yes. If you have said place of supply is Tamil Nadu, then TDS would not have been there. LOS, POS, one state. LOR, other state, no TDS. Right. By the way, this TDS, this particular TDS is CGST plus SGST. Why? Supplier in Tamil Nadu and the recipient is also Tamil Nadu. This is IGST TDS. This is IGST TDS. I repeat, if you at all you have confused yourself and if at all you have said that place of supply is Tamil Nadu, TDS would not have been that. TDS would not have been. You have seen section 10.1b. What is section 10.1b? If someone is giving instruction to give it to someone else. Just now we have seen that case, right? 3 parties involved. So for the first party, place of supply is principal place of business of third person. Who's the third person here? Who's giving instruction? Andhra. Who's giving instruction? Andhra. Right. So this is here. Determine the gross amount of TDS. Determine the gross amount of TDS. Ignoring CGST, SGST, IGST. So in second and third case, what was the value? In second case, what is the value? No, in second case, what is the value? 3 lakhs. In third case, 3,12,500. So totally 6,12,500 multiplied by 2%. What will be the answer? 12,250. Obviously, one is CGST, SGST, TDS and one is IGST, TDS. One is IGST, TDS. This is all 5-star. One MCQ actually was, rather there are 2 MCQs which are not covered by 3-star or 5-star. So MCQs, you had some problem. Right, and I always said that most of the times it is question is you will be able to write all 50 marks. Even worst case scenario, you will miss only 5 marks. Don't worry, your question paper is for then. Right, by the way, if you're missing in MCQs, you're not going to skip it. You're going to mark some answer. You're going to mark some answer. Now, moving on to the next part. During the month of April, the firm made a wrong availment of ITC under IGST at 1 lakh. But during the time period starting from the excess availment up to reversal, the balance in all the credit ledger, when you're seeing the total credit ledger balance, you have to see all together, was 70,000, 20,000 and 20,000. The firm identified the mistake and reversed. Now, how much wrong credit you availed? 1 lakh. Whether you used it? No. What is the total credit available till the time of reversal? 1 lakh, 10,000. 1 lakh? Did you ever use the wrongly availed ITC? No. Here one important point. When you're seeing your credit ledger balance, you will see entire credit ledger balance. You will not see one hand and all. You will not only restrict yourself to 70,000. Why? Credit utilization is such a way that you don't have a control. You don't have a... So you will see entire credit balance. You will see entire credit balance and not only IGST. Though wrong availment is IGST, but credit balance you will see entirely. You will not see only IGST. You will see entirely. Because credit utilization is not in your hand. You follow a method. And that makes different balances. Got that? So your entire credit balance, not only IGST credit, IGST plus CGST plus SGST is more than 1 lakh. Wrong availment is 1 lakh. But your credit balance is 1 lakh 10,000. Did you use it? No. Before you used it, you reversed it. What is the interest? What is the interest? Clear? Interest was very, 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 very important and crucial. And finally, this last MCQ, case study MCQ, Mohan Raj of Kerala, who is unregistered. Who is unregistered in Kerala? deals with supply of cosmetic items in Kerala. He ordered iPhone for his son studying in Pune, Maharashtra through online from an electronic commerce operator located in Delhi. He gave his Kerala address for billing and son's hostel address Maharashtra for delivery. The supplier in Delhi dispatched the phone from his godown in Karnataka. So many states. Okay. Okay. They are actually concerned with place of supply. Where is the location of supply? Karnataka. Eco is in Delhi, ma. Supplier is in Eco is Amazon. It is only in commission intermediary. So Eco is not relevant. Eco is not relevant. Supplier is in Karnataka. Place of supply B2B or B2C. So it is goods or services. Goods. Section 10. B2C. Do you know the customer address? If you know the address, you don't need not know the entire address. You should know only the state sufficient. But what is the customer state address that is given?
Yeah.
Wait, he has given both Kerala and Maharashtra. Kerala and now the first question actually talks about what is the place of supply for that phone. What is the place of supply for phone? And you'll find both the answers, Kerala as well as Maharashtra. You could have written both. ICS not giving any specific point, but logically ICS correctly selected Maharashtra. Why not Kerala? Destination based taxation. The goods are finally going to which state? So they get, normally you always give focus to billing address, but now you're giving focus to shipping address. Why? The goods are going to be consumed in, used in Maharashtra. I repeat, answer could have been even Kerala. Because now customer has given two address, billing address Kerala, shipping address Maharashtra. But more logical answer is Maharashtra. More logical answer is destination. Destination is Maharashtra. Destination is Maharashtra. Now he applied for registration later on. He was unregistered, but now he applied for registration in the name of Mohan Raj and Co., a proprietorship concern in the state of Kerala. During June, he purchased goods valued 5 lakh rupees for making further supply. He's purchased something. Out of that 5 lakhs, he has gifted stock of 2 lakhs to his daughter, who is in the same line of business in Kerala, to help her. To help her. So he has purchased for 5 lakhs and he has given to his daughter. Related party or unrelated party transaction? Related party transaction. It is a related party transaction. For a father, daughter is related unconditionally. So no dependency on unconditionally, right? So related party transaction. He also supplied stock of 1,50,000 to unregistered buyer in Kerala. He is also paying rent of 10,000 to local municipal corporation for the shop taken on rent in bus terminal in Kerala. He is also paying rent of 20,000 for a residential house property taken on rent in Kerala. This was used for his personal residence. Okay. All these are excluding tax. The rate is 6% for 12% for goods and 18% for services. Now let us evaluate the question. Let us see the question. What is the next question asking about? What is the value of outward supply including RCM, including for Mohan Raj? So it is not only outward supply but RCM, and they are not talking about tax. They are only talking about value. What is the value of outward supply? This outward supply 1 is for 2 lakhs. This outward supply 2 is for 1,50,000. Is this covered by RCM? When you talk about municipal corporation, is this covered by RCM? How? You're talking about, is it to government? No. Government to non-business entity? No. Government to small business entity? Government to small business entity? The question is not clear. How you're deciding it is yes. He was already unregistered. So you're presuming that last year he was unregistered because he was small. But wait, small business entities, big business entities not applicable for renting. Small, big is not applicable for. So that is not also there. Got that? So small value, no. It is taxable. It escapes everything. Small business entity is relevant, but not relevant for renting. And this is the case of renting. So you cross that. Small value, no. Big value. So it's taxable under RCM. Is he registered now? Yes. He is registered now. For renting, if the recipient is registered, RCM. For renting by government, if the recipient is registered, RCM. So what is the value? What is the value? 10,000. And finally, he has paid 10,000 for rent, but this is not for us shop, it is for us residence. So this is exempt. If it is for staff quarters, taxable under RCM. Taxable under. So what is the total value? This inward supply 2 is exempted. So what is the total value of outward supply and RCM supplies? 3 lakh. 3 lakh. But this question IC has said that it is out of syllabus, and it is right. It is out of syllabus because related party transaction value is not there in your interlevel. So this question IC has correctly said that this is out of syllabus. This is actually out of syllabus. Though answer is 3,60,000, but it is out of syllabus. What is the amount of ITC that can be claimed by Mohan Raj? What is the amount of ITC that can be claimed by Mohan Raj? Including RCM, because ITC includes RCM ITC. So what is the ITC that can be claimed? What is the ITC that can be claimed? Wait, ITC is not only on this RCM. So ITC is this RCM ITC. Now you have to calculate tax, correct?
Yes.
This is service. This is service. 10,000 multiplied by. So look at the question carefully. The question tells each under CGST SGST. The question tells each under. So you don't take 18, you'll take 9. Service is 9. So here 900. And one more thing was there. This was 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs multiplied by goods. 6%. So what is the total ITC? 30,000? 30,900. And even if you have calculated it 12 and 18, then you would have cross-checked, because that is not an option. That is not in. So then you would have read the question carefully. Oh, it is each for CGST and so CGST 30,900, SGST 30,900, CGST 30,900, SGST 30,900, and all the other questions I believe we have done. All the other questions we have done. Clear? So you might have missed out on only 2 MCQs. That too you would have attended it if you have gone with 5-star and 3-star, A and B part. A and B part. Got that? So we started by around same 620, 625, same 1.5 hours. Right? So this is whatever explanation was done. In that time you will be writing your answers. Are you guys clear with this entire understanding?
Yes, sir.
Right? So there were few updates or amendments required, which we also discussed in one place where it was all time out supply. That also we had incorporated it. Right? Thank you.